Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome to the pod where we chat, argue, and wax poetic about the movies and shows that we love, hate, or that are simply worth talking about. All shows have something to say, and we love trying to analyze what they capture. Welcome back to the chatter after. We are talking My Adventures with Superman season 1. Just wrapped up this past weekend. Hope you all, if you're watching us live, have a great Labor Day. Guys, I love the show. I can't wait to talk about this
Yeah, this
show.
show's
If
great.
you haven't finished My Adventures with Superman, get out because we're talking spoilers. Jamie, welcome back. You too, Joel, as well as Didge. Happy to have you guys here on this holiday talking Superman. Didge, I don't think we've actually talked about it on the show. What are your thoughts, feelings overall on My Adventures with Superman?
This show was great. I told you guys after the first 2 episodes that I better get season after season or I will join the James Gunn boycott. That feeling did not change going throughout the season. I need season after season of this. I think you had said it in a comment or somewhere where you said that this is probably your favorite iteration of Superman, and I wholeheartedly agree. This is amazing. I can't talk about how much I love this show enough. Contrary to how unenthused I sound, I'm just very tired.
That's fair. Yeah, pretty sure on your stream yesterday, Deuce was talking about the show, right? And yeah, I love how this version has kind of reimagined a lot of the Superman mythos, and a lot of things are the same, but they just change enough to make you go, "Oh, that's interesting." And each episode, I'm seeing new and different twists on this character that's been around for, almost 100 years now.
Right.
Jamie, how are you feeling? Season 1, Superman.
I've enjoyed it. I don't think I love it as much as everybody else does, or at least it seems like everybody else like super loves this show. I've enjoyed it. I do have some little nitpicky. Okay. I have some nitpicky things to say about it, but overall, like you guys are saying, I really like this interpretation of Superman. And for me, I think it is the first time I've seen like a young Superman. We had Superboy and Young Justice, but those are two different characters. So it's been interesting to see that. And also Jimmy Olsen, literally had no idea who Jimmy Olsen was before this show, admittedly. So I know, I'm sorry. But now I do know, and I know this is like a different interpretation of him as well. But you know what? I like this one, and I hope that he's here to stay.
Ironically, Jimmy might be the closest to his original counterpart, aside from his race. But yeah,
right, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I still like him.
So, well, he's great, and I'm glad that there's a version of Jimmy Olsen back out in the world because he, much like Robin, has just been missing for over a decade in a lot of Superman stories.
Supergirl.
Superman stories.
If you want to call that Jimmy
James was ready he was ready to correct me, and I was like, maybe let me finish. I want to talk about Supergirl.
No, man.
Because James Olsen is not Jimmy Olsen.
At least he showed up. We have
he played football in high school. It's not Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah. I don't know what that
play
was.
Football and be into photography, I guess.
You don't think this Jimmy Olsen could have played football? He might have played football in high school.
This one, I don't know.
Jamie,
what a boy!
He might be
have
more
you
of a
seen
soccer
Jimmy Olsen
player.
from Supergirl?
No, I have not.
It's wasn't he Jackson? Mortal Kombat 2.
Kombat, yeah.
Okay. That's the
very different interpretation.
You saw the Mortal Kombat movie, right?
Yeah.
He was Jax.
Oh no, yeah, no.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if he's into photography. Maybe pictures of certain people, but I don't know if he's taking the pictures.
Oh my gosh.
Very different.
Sure, yeah, I'll save us.
Oh man, I really enjoyed the show a lot. I was excited when I first heard about it, but also like it looked like I didn't know what to think about it, honestly, because the first pick that you kind of saw them first, right? So I was like, all right, this is gonna be very different. I felt like it was gonna be more comedic. That's what it felt like it was gonna be, but I didn't realize how much it was gonna lean into the anime aspect of it. It felt very like the animation was different, crisp. Obviously, everyone's younger, and like you said, it's the Superman mythos we know with a twist. So there's a lot of lore is in this, with a little twist to almost everything, which is I appreciate it. So you got to keep it fresh. You got to be different, or else you're gonna stay stagnant. And Superman's always a character that needs a little bit of twist once in a while.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's a lot of like there are people that say like Superman's kind of an uninteresting character as well. So I think this show definitely does a service to proving those people wrong, or at least giving them a version that they might further enjoy. And one of the other things they say about Superman that I've heard is the fact that he's like OP and like nobody will be able to beat him. So the fact that we're getting like a younger version of Superman that doesn't have it all figured out, doesn't fully understand his powers, it kind of helps to make the fights a little bit more interesting, because you really don't know what's going to happen at the end of it.
Yeah. Superman is a character. He's one of my favorite DC characters, just period. So it's always frustrating hearing people talk about how he's overpowered, how he's uninteresting and boring. And I'm like, this show, I'm glad people finally see the vision, because this is how I felt about Superman pretty much forever. And I really think leaning into, again, him being inexperienced, him not knowing how his powers work, right? Like that moment when he jumps in front of Lois in like episode 2, 3, and he finds out he's bulletproof. I love that moment so much, because he was willing to get shot. He was willing to feel pain. But yeah, it turns out he was bulletproof, but he didn't know it. And it's like that hero instinct to save somebody was still there in his soul. And I love that about this interpretation of Clark. And I think Jack Quaid's voice performance is amazing. He is the perfect young Clark Kent. So good. So good.
He played it so well, because even knowing that that's him, there were times where I was like, I didn't recognize that was him.
Right. Barely tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. I like the animation a lot. The costume design was good. It's important to me. You got to nail the costume.
Hey, Destiny.
Yo.
That shirt.
I feel like
that's
my shirt, but I don't know.
It definitely is.
My mom bought it for me.
Hey, okay. Not too much on Lois's haircut. Lois's haircut is cute.
Over it. It is. It's a cute cut.
Got over it. Wow.
I like it.
Yeah. I
usually don't like short haircuts. Well, I don't know. It depends on the cut. But usually I lean against short haircuts. But I like this for her.
Yeah.
She wears it well.
Tragic.
Yeah, she does. She does.
It fits her character.
It does. It does.
Yeah. I love that there are so many new elements to this show's interpretation of the character / world, while also staying faithful to the comics. Absolutely. Kyle, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I completely agree. Getting into some of those specific aspects, what did you guys think of anime boy Slade Wilson?
That one
for a loop when
he
showed up.
That was the hardest one to digest.
That's the toughest one to accept.
Yeah, I don't know.
it took me very much close to the end of the season to just like, all right, we're here now.
I do appreciate them taking me out at the end, but I don't like the fact that I don't know. I don't like him young. I don't like him young. That's just weird.
It fits the anime vibes though. Like that's what I was telling my brother, because that was the character that he said it took him the hardest to accept. But when you realize that, like, obviously this is very anime influenced, like it's full on anime vibes. That characterization of Slade, it fits this world, I guess. But like I said, it was the toughest still, for sure, to be like, all right, we're here for it.
Yeah. It was
exactly. Yes.
He's from Bleach.
Yes.
Oh
100%.
man. If Ichigo was just Slade Wilson, 10 out of 10. Love it. It's amazing. It's one of those things where I didn't even realize that was Slade at first. Like it had to be spelled out that was Deathstroke after like an entire episode when he showed up. I didn't even realize that was him. But that didn't bother me too much. I think I was just more taken aback that Slade was in a Superman story at all, honestly.
I agree with that.
Yeah. That's Task Force S being used early on too.
Yes.
Okay. Right, oh wait, Trayvon's
Equality. Justice for Jimmy.
You know, I wouldn't complain. Jimmy's been there day one. But yeah. What did you guys think about some of the villains? I know we got Parasite and Livewire, and Joel, you were even mentioning we got Task Force X, again, another group of characters. Like I didn't expect Amanda Waller to be a Superman villain, but it works very well, honestly. Those are one of the things that I really loved about this show. What about you?
That is a very big. I think them doing that and introducing not just like Superman villains, but like just outside Superman, like a Deathstroke or Amanda Waller, or I swear to God, was Heatwave one of them? There was a fire character.
Heatwave.
That's not Superman either. So like, it's like, all right, so that's interesting.
I didn't even realize that was Heatwave. Oh man!
Right, and I think I overheard them say Heatwave. Is the only reason I even noticed it. Because there is like fire characters for Superman. You could use one of them, but they went with Heatwave over like Volcana or whatever the fuck. Whatever. Okay, fine. But the fact that they're going there makes me want to see if they expand farther out. They even had Vicky Vale at this show. I'm like, oh, that's not a Superman character either.
Yeah.
So I was like, interesting. Interesting. I loved a lot of the interpretations of different characters that they'd been in. The different how like alien techie most of the villains or like their origin stories were. At least they had a reason for it. It wasn't just random villain here with this power from randoms. But there is a connection, like a through line through all of it. Even Parasite and combining Parasite with what's his name?
Dr. Ivo, I think.
Ivo, I think it is.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, that combination was interesting and cool. I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing there. It's more like an alien tech type of thing. All different interpretations, but like Mr. Mxyzptlk, Mr. looking like a Kai, it was definitely an interpretation. And you know what?
I saw someone put that in the comments too.
He did.
He was for sure from Dragon Ball.
Yes, he did. I was like, wow, I've seen this design.
Mixie, yeah, that was a very different take on Mixie, but I really did it. Strange episode, though.
Multiverse. They did a multiverse episode.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at a point where we're kind of tired of it, but they pulled it off. So interesting.
Yeah. See, when they started making this show, the multiverse is probably just getting hot, So they're like, oh, we definitely have to put this in there. People will still like this. Years later, it's like
Superman Kai.
Supreme Kai. He did look like Supreme Kai. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Joel, I want you to answer this question right quick, if you could.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't think her evil. She's not evil. She's not an evil character. She's a villain because she's an antagonist most of the time. She works for the government. She's all about the government first. She has mostly been an antagonist to the League. She has helped a lot too. If you watch the original Justice League cartoons, there is a love-hate relationship between her and Bruce. Her and Batman. Because of that dynamic. And the thing with her is that she doesn't mind killing for the sake of the greater good, like and through all means. And that's why the Suicide Squad exists, because she'll sacrifice bad guys to get the job done, no matter what. Like that's why she's considered a villain more or less than anything. I wouldn't consider her a villain. I consider her more like an anti-hero, borderline villain. But you can push her there and make her a villain. But for the most part, she's more anti-hero. If I had to pick
she's Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU.
Yeah,
right?
She's like Thunderbolt Ross, very much similar to that.
And in the show as well, they kind of like dug into her backstory in some later episodes where you can really see like the connection between why she doesn't like Superman, or at least like Superman's like kind, or like aliens, I guess. With the I can't remember what they referred to it as, but like the event that happened where like the aliens.
Day Zero.
Day Zero, yeah. So the aliens had arrived, and like their ship and like different explosions and stuff like blew up the military base.
That's very show specific, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's
like, well, I mean, in this particular instance, you know, just talking about this specific Waller.
Right.
That's one of the reasons. Waller? Right. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why she doesn't like Superman so much either. So,
to be fair, I feel like that's a lot of the times why Superman's human enemies don't like Superman, because something with aliens has happened, and they're like, "Well, you're an alien. I don't like you either because of that."
The like association.
That's very much a Superman human villain aspect of life.
Yeah, it really is. Very much so. Kind of like what happened with BBS. Alien attack, Krypton.
Right.
Oh, another. I don't like you.
Another alien. Don't like alien.
And you know, I'm kind of mixed on like their, I guess, usage of these like aliens as like villains, but I'll get to that after like a little bit more discussion, and we got some questions actually relating to it, so that works for me.
Cool.
Yeah, sure. Jumping back into the comments, Adam's here. He's saying, "Was Lois's dad always a general?" Yes, actually. Most of the time, I think he's always General Lane.
I can't remember the time where he wasn't.
The funny thing about Sam Lane, I didn't know if it was Sam or not, because they just called him General. So there is a villain called General Eiling or whatever in the comics, and they was just the cartoons. So I wasn't sure if it was that guy that becomes the monster general, or it was Sam Lane, because it could have been. I just wasn't 100% sure, because they left it very vague for that reason.
That's interesting, because I was like 98% sure that was going to be Lois's dad, just because of how important Lois is to this show.
Right. I wasn't sure.
I was 100% one, because I just started watching Superman versus Lois, so that was just in my head, or Superman and Lois. So that was just in my head, like, oh,
I was about to say, oh man,
Superman versus Lois. It's a 1 episode season.
But no, it was just in my head about like Sam Lane, General Sam Lane. So as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, duh, of course. Just kept going. Didn't even think that it could have been like a red herring or something.
See,
that would have been actually great.
For me, I like don't know a whole lot about Superman, but I did know that Lois's dad was a general. So when they start talking about like, oh, I gotta find the general, blah blah, whatever, it wasn't until like the Thanksgiving episode where Lois introduces Clark to her dad, and like, you really never mentioned the fact that your dad's a general at all. Like, never thought like, oh, maybe my dad can help find the general you're looking for. And I don't know, I feel like I didn't really like that part so much, because it felt like something that was very easy to mention that just never happened. But
they don't have great communication, as you can see.
I guess that's the other. Ooh, we'll save that for later. But that's another.
No,
thing.
they're
getting
Jamie,
better.
You've been saving things for later forever now. Just say it.
All right. Well, so it's hard for me to tell like how much time has really passed, but it feels like their relationship is like very deep for the amount of time they've known each other. And it confuses me, because I want to believe that they really love each other and all this stuff, but it also feels like y'all met like a month ago. So like, I don't know. But I also see like, to Clark's perspective, I guess, like he's never had anybody that he is connected with like at this level in his life. So I can see why he might be like a little bit quicker to like pull the trigger as far as like, I love you and like all this kind of stuff. But for Lois, especially after finding out he was an alien and supposedly being mad at him, I don't know. It just seems like a very odd relationship. I want them to be happy, but I also want it to make sense.
Honestly, I just took it as we knew Superman and Lois were going to be together.
Yeah,
it does feel like it's been a week. I'll give you that. It feels like it's been like 8 days.
It was fast, but a short season.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just like, well, I guess that it is what it is.
You could have extended
I
it
guess
another
so.
season or two. I don't disagree with that. That's
Right.
how the original cartoon. It wasn't right away. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it takes a
Especially
while.
with how
That-
short this show is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Well, that's
I
the
feel
thing.
like could have been extended, and then also the alien invasion. I legitimately thought we were not going to get to that this season. So the fact that it happened like the last 2 episodes, I'm like,
I didn't
why?
think we were gonna
I
get
don't know.
another
Like
one.
unless we're not getting another season, I don't see why we had to do this right now.
We better get another season.
We're getting another season, but while we're on the topic
We
of
are.
pacing, I did want to address Destiny's comment here about the pacing. Yeah, it's been uneven. The first 6 episodes, I think it's pretty strong, but we rushed that alien plot line. We rushed the romance, and I don't know
Yeah.
if that's just the anime influence, because again, My Hero Academia takes place in a year, and the post time skip One Piece takes place in a couple months. So, I
Yeah.
just want that to be clear.
It's
Anime
within a year.
timelines make no sense.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But like real time though, it feels
You
like,
can't go by real time.
you know, but we kind of can because that's the way we get it
Can.
delivered to us.
But
It feels
in
like
a
it makes more
cartoon that
sense.
we don't know if you have the time to tell
Mhm.
that, especially if you don't know if you're gonna get a second season when they were writing it. They're like,
Yeah.
we gotta do as much as we can within
Right.
this season. And
Yeah.
I guess the point is also like, we gotta hook them up beforehand. They didn't have to say they love each other. I mean, that's pretty quick. But
That was what made it the quickest. He was
Yeah.
after the first. It felt like after the first kiss, he was already trying to hold himself back from saying, "I
he
love
was
you."
smitten. From
Yeah, I was like, "What is going on?"
Like,
Like
Kurt-
that would be a red flag for me.
I definitely was like, "Man, Clark, you need to hold it. Be a little cooler." I know you're a
know.
dork, but
He is a
Yeah.
dork.
be a little cooler.
He's a lovable giant dork.
Or at least like if he had said that, and then Lois was like, "Okay, like hold on, like let's slow down a second." Like that would have at least made me feel a little bit better.
But also, she thought he was
Life
gonna
comes at
die.
you
That
fast.
that changes some things. I'm sure, you know,
Hey.
emotions are higher when you think the person is going to die. You're never gonna see them again.
And it's not like people don't fall in love very fast these days.
That is true.
I've seen it happen.
I've
people
definitely
find each
seen it
other,
happen.
fall in love, get married all in a year. It's crazy.
Yes.
But it happens.
We got 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day this, 90 Day that. So yeah.
True. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true.
That's fair. So after season 1, guys, Destiny raises a very good question. Whose
Oh, this
adventure
is a deep question.
was with Superman?
That's very
Yeah, it's called My Adventures with Superman. I like the logic here, though, with it being Jimmy. He's the one with all the photos, and if you actually were
Yeah.
watching, the photos do change sporadically throughout the season. So it could be
I
him
wanna say
journaling his
and it's
adventures with
Jimmy at the
Superman.
end post.
It could be
at the post-credit.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. Like
Yeah.
it's him at the credits too. I didn't
Mhm.
see. I didn't realize the one where he disappears when he was kidnapped. I didn't.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Oh wow.
That's
Don't
cool.
skip the
I
end
didn't
credit
catch that.
scene,
Yeah,
y'all.
right. I
I
didn't
keep
catch that.
telling
I
y'all
like
not to
watching-
skip the intros and outros of anime, and you don't listen to me.
I do it for anime, but
I skipped the outro.
you know, I didn't apply that to this show.
Same. I did not.
Cool. No, yeah, I think it might be Jimmy. It could be both of them technically, but it's probably Jimmy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see Jimmy.
It's
It
just
could be Clark,
whoever's adventures. It could be Clark.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I do think it's Jimmy though.
That's
I
possible.
picture just like from what she was saying, like just
Yeah.
it being him being in the outro.
Also, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say everything just feels like it's told
That's a
through
good
his
question.
lens, even
It does
with
seem
the
so.
with like seeing their relationship grow and everything. It everything feels like it's him watching his best
Ooh.
friend
Yeah,
find the love of his life and
And-
how they sort of navigate.
I think another point to add towards it being Jimmy is the fact that we've gotten so much. It's either Superman or Superman and Lois, or Lois.
Yeah.
and Clark. It's
That's
always Superman and Lois. It's always them too. And Jimmy is so prominent in this show.
Yeah.
That's very different than any time that Jimmy's never been this prominent in any version of Superman.
Yeah.
At least not as like a major character, because he's basically in every episode, all right, and he's as an actual role. So yeah, that's another point towards it being Jimmy.
And I was gonna say the fact that Jimmy knew that he was Superman pretty much this entire time as
Right.
well. So
Mhm.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, the show started.
And now he's a millionaire, apparently. So good for him.
Yeah,
Right.
$5.6 million or something for Flamebird. I'm like, damn, I gotta take notes. What did Jimmy do?
That's what's gonna be my last point. Like, what if this is Jimmy's final blog post on Flamebird? These were his adventures with Superman, like 15 years down the line.
Oh, that would be
That's
interesting.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be wild.
Well, look, making him a millionaire at the end of the episode. That's another point towards Jimmy being like it's a hit through his eyes, right?
Yeah. Now he's telling his like memoirs and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just see everything seems to be pointing towards it being Jimmy.
Do we like Lois's hair? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Love
Just
is,
making
love
sure.
is a strong word.
Love is a strong word there. I like
man.
it. It's cool.
I like it. I don't hate it by any means. Works for her.
I assume this is in reference to Lois Lane. Oh, Amanda Waller. Yeah,
gonna say,
Waller's.
Yeah.
Why do we keep
I
putting-
misread
Why
that.
do we keep putting Lois against Superman?
Yeah.
Listen, man. I read this as Lois was willing to kill herself to get Superman when she jumped off the ledge, which is the most Lois Lane thing ever. But yeah, Waller.
He's done it before.
She's on a spectrum. Waller's on a spectrum to where some versions she's really evil, other versions she's more that anti-hero. In the DC extended universe, which I think is where most of you all know her from, you only see her in Suicide Squad stories. Like, we don't see her really interact with the Justice League and like that relationship, that back and forth that they have. So yeah, I can see how some people would not realize that she is a very big antagonist for the Justice League.
Yeah. Right now in the comic book, she's kind of a villain. So it's like, and it's through the Suicide Squad again.
This killed me.
Yo,
I like
he
that.
did.
The
Yo.
propane probably would have helped that turkey.
Man,
I don't know what was going on with the turkey.
I loved his characterization
struggling.
of just not caring about anything else. He was so one track.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
I didn't even think about the fact that like he wasn't with them at like when they were talking with Lois's dad and stuff until they walked in the kitchen. He was sitting on the floor. I'm like, oh, like, oh yeah.
I like that. He's alive. That's another.
Yeah.
Not true. Yeah.
One season.
Yeah, I'm glad he's alive. We
Ooh.
don't do that. Don't
No.
know.
Season 5 is all flashbacks.
This does not need that much backstory.
Holy fuck.
See.
The flute comes
I feel
in.
like even now,
Doo-doo.
just
God.
just working with what we have now, we just gotta. I would say just flesh things out a little bit more. You know, like if Jimmy falls in love with somebody or something, don't have it happen over 2 episodes. Like let it flourish over a season. You know, we don't have to have a whole bunch of
through Jimmy,
flashbacks.
it happens really fast. It's like, wow, to me it was like this. You know, like but maybe
See, but through my eyes, it should not happen very fast.
it's not about Jimmy. That's why it's called my
It's
Adventures.
not about
not Jamie's Adventures.
Oh my god. Damn it. All right, so I just need to be in the show. That's what Joel's telling me. I'm reaching out to Warner Brothers tomorrow.
You could be Jimmy's girlfriend. There you go. You can walk and talk. He's a Billy
I
Miller.
don't know if I want to be Jimmy's girl.
Damn.
I don't know.
Wow.
He's been
Wow.
kinda-
Why you doing my man
been
Jimmy
kinda
like that?
all
He
over
just
the-
hit the
Would you
lottery.
want to be
You
Jimmy's
like-
girlfriend? Like he's
You know
a
what?
fun
Fine. I
guy.
will. Why not?
If Jimmy's
I don't know.
interested, we can make it happen.
I gotta get to know Jimmy a little bit more before I say that. So,
He's gonna
Mike,
look
you
at all
tell me how
look at
you're
all the pictures and
experiencing.
stuff. He'll show
Yeah,
you.
he's
so many-
talented.
He'll show you
photographer.
so many adventures.
Yeah,
He'll tell you all about his stuff with Superman.
that's it.
See, but I don't want to know about Superman. I want to know about Jimmy. That's the thing. You got to have your own identity.
Well, you got to go out first. You won't know unless you know.
That's what I'm saying. All right, Jimmy, give me a call. We'll see.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
same.
100% too.
You can't introduce somebody named Alex in his Superman story and not follow that up.
Hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely had red hair.
I'm
For those who don't know, Lex Luthor's a redhead when he has hair.
Yes.
I see. Cool.
Yes, he does.
He was already hateful.
Yo,
immediately angry. It all fits.
Yeah, it all fits. It all points to him being Lex, even though he was like a couple minutes into the show. Just that
yeah.
So second to last episode. I forgot where he showed up.
Wow, that latest comment is hilarious.
We're gonna get there. You know what? We're just gonna you know, the show is already extremely horny.
It kind of is, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to see that though. I don't know if I want to see it.
That's a struggle in its own right.
Right. So it may be
there.
Talking about that backstory you want.
It feels too
Look
sweet
at this man.
and innocent. See now, maybe I do want to see it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You might have just convinced me. I don't know.
The massive man.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, their size difference is very pronounced in this show. Yeah. It's never felt this pronounced in any other iteration.
Yeah, it is pretty.
So that's the thing.
He looks like doesn't wear heels as often.
That could be true.
She's probably in flats all the time or whatever.
Wow. All right.
Uh-oh. What happened?
That last comment. We sure Trayvon not here?
In spirit, he's always
burner account.
We sure.
Trayvon's always lurking, conjuring up the dark magic somewhere.
Wait, we gotta ask. These people are of age, right? They're of age.
Yeah, everybody in the show is at least an adult. They're out of college. They're talking about college years, remember?
Okay.
They're just out of college, it seems like to me.
Yeah,
talking about roommates. I had to double check.
Yeah, they were roommates, right?
Yeah, they're roommates in college.
What anime did this to you, Jamie? What scarred you?
That's fair.
I don't know.
No comment. Say, wait, how old are they? It's like an anime definitely got tricked. You didn't. Did you have a Haku moment?
Oh,
it's anime is rough. You can't ever let yourself get too attached like that unless you know for sure they're adults. You just can't. You're like, oh yeah, they're cute, but you can't go beyond that most of the time.
That's true.
Oh man, this is a very good question.
Let's make a study. I want to know more. Let's do it.
He's a prototypical.
I mean, he's super buff.
Right? He's muscular.
Man asked, was he a linebacker? Like, he
was
huge.
Well, he was a football player. He did play
23. Oh, dang. That's me, right? Well, actually, I'll be 24 by the end of the week, but perfect age.
23. So they're probably all around the same age. Even though I always imagine Lois is a little bit older. But
see, I got Superman,
they're probably 22,
Jimmy.
because remember, she was saying she was an intern for a year. So let's say she became an intern around that time. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Jaime is also like my age as well from Blue Beetle. This is a great time to be a DC fan for me. Great time.
same age.
Same age as all your heroes.
That's exactly.
Great. I know that feeling. Oh, I used to.
What did you guys think of the League of Lois Lanes? That was the one plot point that I was kind of
yeah. That was odd.
Weird.
I didn't hate it though.
I didn't hate it, but it was the one that I was just like.
It was funny. I laughed, but it was weird.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah. I didn't love it. I'm going to just reveal that episode was the last one in the screeners that they initially sent. So when I wrote my review, I was just ignoring that episode. Because I'm like, I don't know if I'm even going to like the rest of the season because we went full multiverse, League of Lois Lanes. I don't know where this is going. Yeah, they had to wait like weird. 2 months to figure out where that was going to go. Because I had to just sit on it forever.
That had to be nerve-wracking.
Right? You're like, man, it was so good. Well, it continued.
Like, what are you? Because you're left thinking, like, did this show just fall off the cliff for me?
Right? Yeah.
Don't do it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where I was for 2 months, and so I'm just sitting here like, the episode itself is fine. Yeah. I'm over evil Superman stories. Like the League of Lois is fine. That's
same.
I didn't need that. This show is so hopeful and positive.
Yeah.
I didn't need them to be like, but what if you went bad though? And
Let's
that's
dig
soured me a
into
little.
that, man. That goes back to what I was saying about the alien invasion. Like, I don't know if we needed that. I don't know if we needed to have a vision of Clark being evil or something. Like, I don't know. It just didn't feel like it fit into the show because, like what you were saying, the show has been like, when it comes to Superman and Lois and Jimmy, it's been like very hopeful, very like energetic. So to just like throw that plot line in there, and especially because they didn't really flesh it out. Like the last 2 episodes is where all of that kind of came to fruition instead of it building over the season. It just didn't feel like it was needed, in my opinion. At least not for this season. Like it could have been like a something in the back of your mind kind of thing. And then next season, if they wanted to go into it, that would have made more sense to me because I wasn't expecting that at the end of the season.
I think they did it because their next thing is obviously it seems like it's gonna be Zod.
Yeah.
Right.
So
No,
I think
weird version of Zod.
Well, I just assumed that's a suit. I'm not gonna lie.
I hope so.
I just really assumed that was like a suit of armor. I really hope that's not how he actually looks.
It does kind of look. It had that. You saw the Brainiac thing, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there's a connection there.
Yeah, I thought it was Brainiac. If I'm being real.
That's
but
fair.
it's obvious. But they teased out at the end when he's like,
yeah,
before, and they had the symbol.
Right.
I get it. But I also saw some Brainiac there, so maybe there's a combination of the two.
Could be, but I just assumed that it was that case, and like, so they're trying to sort of show like, well, not every Kryptonian is good, not every Kryptonian is here for benevolent reasons, and obviously the easiest way to show it in the multiverse is to show other Supermen who went bad, but because you don't want to sort of show your cards by saying, well, there's this whole other Kryptonian that's going to show up.
Right.
And then especially if you want that to be something that's a major plot point next season,
right?
You don't want to sort of blow it all off right now.
Mm-hmm. It's good that they didn't do Zod this season. Honestly.
Yeah, that would have been a little too much.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. Addressing this comment with the Batman stuff, I did not expect Vicky Vale at all to be in this show.
At all.
Me neither.
that threw me for a loop, but I thought it was cool. Regarding their ages, though, Zod might be he might be 40. Like I don't know how old he usually is anyway. So
he's around the same age
but
as Jor-El.
So I would assume 40s, 50s by the time.
Older.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce is generally the same age as Clark. But I know recently he's been older a lot for some reason. So I don't know. He might be same age.
Oh, Bruce. Batman. Yeah, they're usually around the same age, but a lot recently he's been older recently. They might do that. I don't know if they're going to introduce Batman ever, but if they do, I don't know. It depends what happens with Vicky. Did he actually hook up with Vicky, or is she just from Gotham and it's just they actually have no actual connection? Who knows?
Or Bruce just hooked up with the older woman.
Or Bruce hooked up with the older woman.
He is a billionaire playboy. Like that's
true.
Something he might do.
He could be older than Clark, but younger than Vicky. He could be somewhere in the middle. So
I hope they don't introduce Batman. I kind of like this being Superman's story, like not introducing the overall Justice League or even any other heroes. But it's kind of weird because you're already pulling villains from everywhere, so you might have already forced yourself into having to.
I don't need it right away, but if it goes longer than 2 seasons, I'm gonna start getting that itch.
I mean, they brought up Atlantis too, so
fucking did. Don't fucking tease me.
I feel like unless
I view it like good. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, unless it's like a super like big world-ending threat or something where Superman feels like he might need help, I don't necessarily want to see Batman, even though I love Batman. But it's like for him to leave Gotham and come to Metropolis, I don't know. I feel like something horrible would have had to have happened, you know?
Not always necessary. Like if you watch the original Superman cartoons, they had guest stars all the time.
I could see Bruce showing up. Like
Bruce had his own 2
Yeah, I don't think he'd be there long. You know what I'm saying?
No, he doesn't have to be there long at all. He could be there on business. It's a business,
right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up Superman the Animated Series, Joel, because I want to just take a second and everybody to realize it has been almost like 30 years since Superman has had his own show. That was the last time
Animated.
Superman had his own show. Yeah, animated show. That's the last time he's had his own animated series. And so, yeah, I don't want Batman right away. If they do something like Batman the Animated Series, where it's a crossover in like season 3, season 4, that's cool.
Right.
But I want to establish Superman in this world being his own story. But again, we've already introduced other characters like Amanda Waller and Slade Wilson and Vicky Vale. So I'm not surprised if they go that route.
Flash
Heatwave. Yeah. Now it's weird because I don't want Batman, but I would totally be cool if there's an episode where they have a race and Superman has to race the Flash.
Oh,
that just sounds
that's
fun.
an episode of the old cartoon too. That's what I mean. You can have cameos.
Yeah.
It's just an episode. The problem is, old days there were like 20 plus episodes. Now you get like 10. And
Right.
You have no time to fuck around usually with the story.
Bring back
yeah.
26
Those are
season
usually like-
episodes.
We were just
26 episode seasons.
I don't know. It's so much content to watch now that I'm like, a 26 episode season for everything I'm watching right now, I would not have time for anything else.
I think they're so much shorter now. I mean, it's hard
Yeah.
to get 20 something. And it's better off, honestly. These 20 plus episodes for some of the shows is unnecessary.
That's fair.
Yeah. Naruto.
Most shows.
Hey, mute her.
Most shows.
Yeah, so that's over with. We're gonna
Those for a
address
while.
this. Superman getting blue powers. There's actually some precedent for that if you haven't read the comics. Joel, do you want to
Superman
talk
Blue.
about Superman Blue and Red? Hi, Jamie. You're out of time.
Wow, where did this come from? Was that the show? I didn't even pay attention.
It's not in the show, but Superman's got the blue anime powers, so I feel like that's
They
a
referenced.
reference.
Yeah, I was gonna say it felt very much like they referenced Superman Blue
All
at
right,
the very
so,
least.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
that
Jamie.
happened. Oh,
Thank
Jimmy's
you.
back.
Thank you.
Awesome. Where'd you go?
I don't know what happened there. Disconnected.
Superman Blue happened.
She got
after,
sent to the Kamui dimension for her transgressions.
Yeah,
against
Phantom zoned. She got Phantom zoned right out of it. Superman Blue, it happens after he dies, after Rebirth. I forget exactly how. I know I have the comics. I don't remember. It just because I wasn't like consistent with it, so I picked it up and I'm like, he looks fucking cool. I pick up Blue Lightning Superman. There was a moment in time where he had lightning powers. And it was sometime after his rebirth, where he had the black suit and all that. And then there was a point where they split. I know less about the Red Superman. I just know that did happen. There was 2 Supermen at one point, but Blue Superman was like, I think it went on for almost a year, where he was Blue Lightning Superman or Blue Electric Superman or whatever the fuck. That was a little. It was just a gimmick that happens for him to sell more comic books. Then he went back to being normal again. So I don't know the whole story. I would have to look it up.
I honestly don't know the whole story of it either.
You muted, Mike.
Yeah, sorry. I was just trying to pull up an image here. But I know Grant Morrison was stuck with Blue Superman during his Justice League run.
Yes.
And he's just like, what am I supposed to do with this? Why does he have electricity powers? What's going on? What did I miss when I wasn't writing
it's
Justice
so
League?
random, dude. It was like, I mean, he looks cool, but I don't understand it.
This is
Yeah,
him in the
uber
show.
powerful.
You can even see the blue, the lightning. You know,
Yeah.
it's
I get it. All right, I didn't connect the lightning part to it. But all right, I get what you're saying.
yeah. So I think it's very much that same vein. It's very weird, hard to explain in the comics. So I'm excited to see if they do something interesting with it. It was very much Superman. We wanted to change the formula. We brought him back to life. They did something different with him, and it's kind of dumb, but.
Yeah, it was just a gimmick because he just got back from being dead, so they wanted to spice it up, and they did that. And well, lasted a year and went back to normal. That was Mullet Superman too, around that time.
Okay.
Oh.
I like how, yeah, they did do that. Brainiac and Zod.
Brainiac and Zod being this show's Luthor and Brainiac, that might be really cool.
It could be.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense.
That's what it seemed like they were going for.
Because Brainiac in the cartoon was a Kryptonian AI or whatever the fuck. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do. Brainiac is more or less an alien from I forget what they call it. The name of the planet.
I did too. Hold up. I can look it up quickly.
I was gonna say Planet Brain.
No, not a brain.
That would have been
He's more or less now an AI.
Kolu, I forgot how you pronounce it because he's
Kalua or Kalula.
Yeah, because he's like Colin or something like that.
Colin, not Colin. Colin.
Not Colin, like Kulun or something. I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's like Kolu. However you want to pronounce that.
Brainiac.
This messed me up as a kid, y'all.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was freaky, man.
I swear I had nightmares of this.
Ugh.
It's this arc was so good. You guys need to watch Justice League Unlimited if you've never seen it.
Oh my god! If
Amanda Waller.
never watched
Yeah, I need to go back. I don't remember.
It's the best. Oh, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, because that's 1 and 2. You can't skip one. Like, in my opinion.
Jamie, drop Jujutsu Kaisen and watch Justice League. There you go.
Hell no.
Jamie, do not drop Jujutsu Kaisen.
No, absolutely not.
You should still add this to your schedule.
See, but I'm already watching Naruto. We already got the movies now scheduled. Naruto's the problem. See, I'm telling you guys.
No. You got to find something else.
It's just gonna keep happening. She's got to learn to put some respect on Lord Seven's name. Jack Quaid definitely nailed superhero roles lately. The Boys, Clark, and he voiced Peter Parker in Across the Spider-Verse.
He did.
Yeah,
he was.
He did.
He was.
Damn, your internet's going crazy over there.
Yeah, I guess so.
You got a glitch going on.
I don't even think what I said was that bad, but I'm sorry, I guess.
Y'all like bullying me? Not bullying allegations.
Tragic.
But I do agree. Jack Quaid has done an amazing job.
Fantastic.
He's been on fire lately. So
I also haven't finished The Boys either, so that's another one for me. Yeah. I'm on season 2. Season 2. Still.
There's what, 4 seasons?
Yeah. Season 4 is about to. Well, I can't say about to. It's eventually it'll come out.
It's supposed to come out this year, but we'll see. I guess.
I've been catching up on a lot of stuff. Being offline for like a month. Yeah.
I didn't mean it like that.
He's like, really? Have you?
Did you though? Are you?
Believe me.
This comment is now justified. We're sorry.
Yeah, our apology.
You're being guilt tripped.
Oh man, guys, what are you looking forward to in season 2? They did confirm it's happening.
Batman.
Want to see?
I'm so kidding. It's not
God, no. I am excited for Zod. I really do want to see how they're gonna have him put in. I know somebody was saying that his armor or the symbol on his suit looked kind of still close to the House of L symbol. So what if it's not Zod? What if it's like somebody else from the House of L? I don't think it's gonna be Carl Zor-El. That'd be really weird. But especially using the Nil before Zod. But remember the Krypton show, they had Zod as a member of the House of L. So I want to know where they're gonna go with it. Just to see him learn more about his Kryptonian roots and everything. So I'm interested on that.
Yeah, same. Season 2 can go a lot of different places.
For sure.
You have Zod. No, to me, they teased Zod. They teased Brainiac in a way at the end there. So there's always those elements. All those villains that were in the first season come back at some point. There's also like, did we ever get a Toy Man?
No, not this season.
Right. So that's always a character you could bring in. I always thought that was an interesting character to use. I'm trying to think of what other main characters. Did we see Bibbo? I don't remember if they did Bibbo in this or not.
I don't remember.
Man, they could introduce Bibbo. I'm surprised they didn't, actually, now that I think about it. I love Bibbo. They could introduce Bibbo.
Clark's got to get more established as Superman before.
True.
Bibbo,
yeah, to get his fan club up. That's true. But that means that look, by season 2, you could have a fan club. So Bibbo. My God, there's a lot of different ways you can go with. I would love to see what's it called? Oh my God, the planet.
Kulua?
War World.
Oh.
Mongol. Yeah.
Mongol. That's who. I cannot think of his name. Mongol. Yes, Mongol would be fun. It would win with War World. That would be interesting.
That would be very interesting for this Clark because he hasn't gone off world, I don't think, yet.
Right. Let's see Lobo.
That'd be really cool to introduce. The main man.
I'm gonna go a different route because I love me some slice of life. So I'm wondering, like, how their lives are gonna be changing now that they are officially reporters. How it's gonna be different. If they're gonna bring in some more interns to replace them, like, what's gonna be their dynamic? Are they gonna be like the cool reporters in the office now? And Jimmy, how does Flameberg work now? Is it in collaboration with the Daily Planet, or what is the situation there? And I feel like he's definitely going to get into some kind of trouble working on Flamebird with the Daily Planet. So I'm curious how they're going to make that happen.
Rich Jimmy is going to definitely be interesting to see next season.
Oh, yeah. Rich Jimmy's probably going to lose his way. Like, I'm better than all you guys. And then he's going to have a humbling moment. He's like, I'm sorry I said that. And then we'll be back to normal.
I wonder if that conflicts
but like
Alex.
That completely changes the dynamic. They play it off as a joke, but like, is he still going to be a photographer? Like,
right? He doesn't have
I wouldn't work at the Daily Planet.
Right.
So like, what does that relationship look like? Like I wouldn't be Clark's
He's going camping every day now.
Jimmy gets a mansion in the suburbs.
He still might be. That's his passion. He's passionate about photography.
Yeah,
so he might do all of that.
Now it's a hobby.
What if he makes another channel that's like Flame Bear or something like that? I don't know. And he still has
he goes Thunderbird this time.
Thunderbird, yeah, you could do that. And he still has the people in the woods, like the ape and the robot thing.
Oh my god, those are from Doom Patrol. That's the what's they called?
Isn't the ape? Doesn't he ended up working with Gorilla Grodd?
No, that's Mala and Brain. They very much changed that relationship in the show. But hey, they're in Young Justice. If you watch Young Justice, they're both in Young Justice. They also are, and obviously they're Doom Patrol villains, so that's where they initially come. And they're called the Brotherhood of Villains. That's where the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants comes from. I'm saying it's a play on that villain group, honestly. There's a lot of different similarities between Doom Patrol and X-Men if you look really deep into it, and that's one of them. Anyway, that's who they were. Now, this show changed that, so I don't know exactly what the fuck's going to happen with them if they go back to it.
And they went off planet, right? Yeah. So maybe they'll come back at some point. They didn't. It's funny. They invited Clark, but they did not even talk to Jimmy about it. They're like, "All right, see you." Even though I spent most of the episode with him, I don't know, but maybe we'll see them again.
We'll see. I didn't expect that.
That was interesting.
Do you think Flamebird is gonna have a Batman connection to it? Because Nightwing and Flamebird are a thing,
but they're Kryptonian names.
Right. But I'm just saying. You can't.
That's why.
Where is that going to go? Thanks for hanging out with us, Destiny. You've been awesome.
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Nightwing and Flamebird are two heroes on Krypton. And when Dick Grayson's going through life stuff, he talks to Superman. Superman tells him about these heroes that he learned about from his heritage. And Dick Grayson adopts the name Nightwing from that story and conversation he's had with Superman.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Superman's very important to Nightwing as a character. So that relationship and dynamic, I really want them to tap into one day in some aspect. But medium. Flamebird being referenced and name dropped here, even though it has nothing to do with Superman lore, it got me thinking, like, okay, is Batman gonna end up buying the Daily Planet or Flamebird in some capacity? Because you can't have one half of that duo, you know? And you can't introduce something called Nightwing without getting fans riled up.
Maybe Jimmy heard Flamebird from... Well, actually, no. It wouldn't make sense for him to hear it from Clark, because Clark still doesn't know, like, everything about Krypton yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's a connection at all. They're not going to have a connection at all. It doesn't seem to me, because of the fact that Jimmy just chose the name randomly, and we don't even know if there's a Nightwing in this universe yet.
I think it was something just cool for the fans.
It's a nod.
To see. Yeah,
because I believe Jimmy was a superhero named Flamebird. He was different superheroes throughout his years as a character that were never really worked out. He's never actually a superhero with that very long. That's why. So it's one of those things. He gets powers, loses powers, and like he'll have adopt a name. Flamebird was obviously one of them. There's another character named Flamebird though in the comic books. That's not Jimmy.
Supergirl also took on the mantle of Flamebird.
Oh, so yeah, a couple people take that name.
I do think we should see Supergirl next season or the season after.
Kara would be nice.
Wouldn't it be too? Well, I guess maybe not too soon.
No.
You think like she'll teach him about his powers or something? Maybe she'll have things figured out and he doesn't.
Oh, that'd be interesting if she's an adult. That'd be interesting.
I mean, she can still give him a history lesson. Like, even if she's 17, she grew up on Krypton, you know?
Fair. Yeah, I guess if she would. But I thought she wouldn't still know about, like, her powers, though. Well, I don't know.
Not the powers, but she can still teach him about Condor and, like, that his dad's not evil. That's another thing.
Yeah, no, that part,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah, the fact that I like the whole that he didn't understand the language until he scanned them at the end.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. Like it's weird, but it does make sense. Like he sees this language that he doesn't understand. So he doesn't know what this thing is trying to tell him. But all he knows is this technology from his homeland is attacking, and basically it seems like it's trying to invade. So yes, of course, I would assume that you're all evil and
alien society.
Yeah, you're an evil alien society until I get a chance to honestly know the truth. So like it's different from everything else, but it does make the most sense when you think about it.
It's kind of like their take on what the fuck are the name of the aliens in Invincible?
Oh, Viltrumites.
Viltrumites, because that's like because they're obviously based a little bit on they're actually more based on Saiyans than they are Kryptonians. but it's very much. But again, the Kryptonians you can say are very based off Kryptonians. I mean, the Saiyans are also kind of based off them. So it's like it's all connected through the same idea. And this is the first time you see Kryptonians as I guess antagonistic in that way. That's not Zod related, even though obviously later on you do see it probably is Zod related,
right?
So it's all done very differently. Again, that twist is where they get you.
Their technology is crazy.
Yeah,
like his hologram was basically still alive. It was doing it was doing so much regular stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All it always happens though with their holograms are like living holograms.
Yeah.
Like DNA. I forget how exactly they explain it, but that's how Jor-El exists in the Fortress of Solitude. Will he have a Fortress of Solitude? You know what I mean? Because as of right now, there is no Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, true.
Interesting.
You are muted, Mike.
It happens every time. There's a lot they can get to. Like the fortress, like I really thought that was gonna end up being the fortress, and things just like blew up and like fell off the rails very quickly again. Like you said, that twist that happens.
I thought it was gonna land in the Arctic, so I was like, oh, maybe no, that didn't happen. No.
Maybe he'll move it. I don't know. There's
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, gotta do something with this in the middle of their property.
I thought that was going to happen in BVS. So I thought that something like that would happen, that he moved the ship over. So, I don't know. It didn't work out like I expected. I thought it was going to work out.
Guys, between the comments and our own thoughts, I think we covered a lot today. Was there anything specifically that we haven't hit on yet that I'm missing?
No, not that I can think of. When's season 2 coming out?
I don't know when they can get back to work writing and voicing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Animated.
Should have did them together.
Well, I think they knew that they were getting to season 2 pretty early on. Maybe they I'm pretty sure they probably kept writing. It's just a matter of how far they get, all that extra jive.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
to see.
We'll have to wait and see. Guys,
Wait and see.
Mhm.
if you enjoyed this video, give us a like and subscribe so you don't miss whenever we're going live. Talking more DC. We've got a lot of topics. DC, Marvel, indie movies, TIFF is happening. We got to cover it all here on the Chatter After and, of course, the Chatter After Daily. It's been a blast talking my adventures with Superman. You know, the show is great. It's got fun anime girl transformations for Clark that's just never explained. And like that's just the vibe of the show you get. You
That
love
was
it. It's like
great.
he's Sailor Moon.
That was cool.
Don't question it.
Yeah.
That works for me.
A lot. That was me saying that almost every episode, except for multiverse stuff and evil Superman. But that's okay. You know, they all can't be winners.
gotta have one low episode.
Mhm.
You know, DC can never bat 1,000. So even in their wins, they gotta hit me once or twice. Oh man. But yeah, we've been in a Superman like renaissance lately with Superman and Lois, and then this show, and then hopefully Superman Legacy like continues that trend. So I'm
Mhm.
really glad because we had a good 15 years of just awful times. Even if you like some of the movies that came out, he just fell off a cliff and you never saw him again. It was
They
tragic.
almost tried to go far without him. They were just gonna go through the. There is no Superman. Like
I
they
will
were
say,
just
though,
gonna move forward.
Superman seems to do well with shows.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed most of his live action shows, especially the last.
They can get
Yeah.
they can get into the heart of the character a bit more, and I say this all the time: superheroes are built for television.
Mhm.
The moments when you say he's boring or he's overpowered, you can have an episode where it is like Jamie, you were saying, that slice of life aspect. You can't make a movie of him, Lois, and Jimmy working at the Daily Planet 90% of the time, you know. But if you did an episode and they spent 15 minutes there, and then you have a 5-minute fight scene at the end where he's fighting some crazy villain, it feels a little bit easier, right? So I think he does better on TV, which is a shame because we love the movies too and wish we got more of it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
We get more live action Superman TV series than we get Batman. And it's reverse with like movies, like more Batman live action. And it's much cheaper to do Batman than it is to do Superman. It's just like
Batman as a show would be amazing.
It would be.
He's got so many rogues, man. Like so many villains he can fight every single week.
Yeah.
It's Batman the animated series. What am I pitching? This has already been done. It's perfect. Sorry.
Do it again.
Do it again. Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm are
to
already trying to do it again. Let's run it back.
Oh, I can't wait for that to come out.
It's supposed to be a animated Batman series going to Amazon, I think it is, right?
That's the one they're talking about.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Isn't it like
Matt Reeves, do the thing.
Isn't it called Cape Crusader?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
So exciting. And it helps that this was actually good because Superman and Lois and that were like announced around the same time.
Ooh,
and like no one paid attention to Superman to this news, and that turned out to be really good. Everyone's like, "Oh shit, it's really good." So I'm like, "Yay, it's a win!"
Yeah, it's not as high profile because I think the Batman show has J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, and Bruce Timm working on it.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
So it's like that's the headline.
Yeah.
And then under it, you just have Superman's also getting a show, and so it kind of got buried in the story.
And they showed that picture of the three of them together, and it's just through people didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect either, but it was a pleasant surprise. So I'm happy.
For sure.
All right, guys, we'll be back next week. Have it awesome. Peace.
See ya.